The boy who chased the horizon. In a small, dust-laden village, where the roads were uneven and dreams were considered a luxury, lived a 7-year-old boy named Zayn. Zayn didn't have much. His clothes were patched, and his shoes were worn out. But he possessed something invaluable, a ragged, stitched-up leather football that he treated like a treasure. While other children played traditional games or worked to support their families, Zayn could be found on the makeshift dirt field behind his house, kicking the ball against a crumbling brick wall until the sun dipped below the horizon. The storms of life. Life was never kind to Zayn. When he was just 10, his father, the sole breadwinner of the family, passed away after a long illness. The burden of survival fell upon his mother's fragile shoulders. Zayn wanted to help, so he started working at a local tea stall after school. His days became an endless cycle of exhaustion. Morning, school. Afternoon, working at the tea stall. Late evening, practicing football under the dim, flickering streetlights. People mocked him. A poor boy dreaming of the World Cup? Learn to fill your stomach first, the village elders would scoff. His peers laughed at his torn shoes, through which his bruised toes often peeked. But Zayn's mother saw the fire in his eyes. One evening, as she bandaged his bleeding ankle, she whispered, "Zayn, the world will try to steal your shoes, but they can never steal the magic in your feet. Run so fast that your hardships can't catch you." The ultimate testing ground. Years passed, and Zayn's raw talent caught the eye of a scout from a city academy. He was offered a scholarship. It seemed like his big break, but destiny had another test waiting. During a crucial selection match for the national under-19 team, a defender tackled Zayn brutally from behind. A sickening crack echoed through the stadium. A torn ACL. The doctors shook their heads. He might walk normally, but professional football? It's over for him. The world collapsed around Zayn. For weeks, he sat in darkness, staring at his motionless leg. But one afternoon, he looked at his old, deflated childhood football sitting in the corner of his room. He remembered his mother's words, his father's silent sacrifices, and the dirt field where he first learned to dream. Pain is temporary, Zayn whispered to himself. Regret is forever. What followed was a year of agonizing physical therapy. While others slept, Zayn cried through the pain of stretching his stiff muscles. He woke up at 4 a.m. to jog, slowly rebuilding his strength, defying every medical prediction. The World Cup Finals, glory and redemption. Fast forward to the summer of 2026. The stage was the biggest in the world, the FIFA World Cup Final. Zayn, now Arshası, was wearing the iconic green and white jersey of his country. He had beaten the odds, made the national team, and carried them on his shoulders all the way to the final match against the reigning world champions. The stadium was a sea of 90,000 roaring fans, and billions more were watching at home. The match was intense. With only 2 minutes left on the clock, the score was tied at 1-1. Zayn received the ball at the midfield. His muscles ached, his lungs burned, and the ghosts of his past injuries flashed before his eyes. Two towering defenders rushed toward him. In that split second, the roaring stadium went dead silent in Zayn's mind. He wasn't on a grand stage. He was back on the dirt field of his village. He wasn't facing world-class defenders. He was dodging the hardships of his childhood with a breathtaking display of agility. Zayn dribbled past the first defender with a sharp turn. He nutmegged the second, creating just enough space outside the penalty box. He looked up, saw the goalkeeper slightly off his line, and struck the ball with every ounce of soul he had left. The ball curled beautifully through the air, defying physics, and slammed into the top right corner of the net. Goal! The stadium erupted into absolute madness. The whistle blew. They were the world champions. A dream fulfilled. As his teammates rushed to embrace him, Zayn fell to his knees on the lush green grass. He didn't celebrate with a dance or a shout. Instead, he buried his face in his hands and wept. He wept for the little boy who played in the dirt with torn shoes. He wept for his father, who never got to see him play, and for his mother, who sacrificed her meals so he could have energy to run. Looking up at the sky, Zayn raised his gold medal toward the heavens. The boy who was told he couldn't even afford to dream had just given his entire nation a reason to celebrate. He had proven that no matter how deep the darkness of adversity is, the light of unwavering passion will always break through.